I came home a day earlier than planned. The flight landed at dawn, and by noon I was sliding my key into the front door. I moved quietly, carefully, wanting the surprise of my return to feel like a gift, but the surprise ended up being mine. My daughter was sitting on the living room floor, her little body trembling, cheeks streaked with tears. Two police officers stood over her. She was only 5, terrified, her wide eyes locking onto me like I was the only safe thing left in the world. "Daddy," she whimpered, her voice broken and raw. "Don't let them take me." My chest tightened, but I didn't scream. I didn't rush forward. I didn't even dare breathe too loudly. My pulse thundered in my ears, but on the outside I kept my face calm, unreadable. The officers explained a call had come in. Someone reported neglect. My mother and sister. They told the police my daughter had been left unsafe, abandoned. The cruel irony was that she had been staying with them the entire week while I was away for work. They spoke like it was just duty, but I knew better. It was a weapon. I used to believe family was a shield. My mother had raised me on those words. Blood is everything. My sister repeated it often. They were supposed to love her, protect her. Instead, they tried to tear her away. Looking back, the cracks had been there all along. My sister turned cold the day I refused to bail her out with money for the 3rd time. My mother took her side, feeding her bitterness, whispering how I thought I was better than them, because I got out, because I built something of my own. I brushed off the signs, the snide remarks about my parenting, about my trips for work, even a phone call I overheard once. "If he keeps leaving, we'll have to do something." I ignored it. Thought suspicion was worse than paranoia. I was wrong. That day with the cops, I said only what was required, signed the papers. I watched them leave. My daughter clung to me like a shadow. That night, as I tucked her in, her breathing shaky from fear, I made a choice. I wouldn't scream. I wouldn't beg them to love us. I would make them regret ever trying to take her from me. The very next morning, I began to plan. On the outside, I acted the same, smiling at work, calling my mother as if nothing happened, asking my sister if she could watch my daughter again on my next trip. I let them believe I was blind. Meanwhile, I started digging, court records, credit reports. I followed their secrets like tracks in fresh snow. My sister was drowning in debt, credit cards maxed out, payday loans stacked high. She was a single step from collapse. My mother wasn't much better. She had been secretly renting out a property left to her in my father's will, never reporting the income. I printed every document, every number, and filed them away with steady, patient hands. Then I went to a lawyer quietly, like sharpening a blade in the dark. My first move was small. I called my sister, my voice easy, casual, and mentioned an investment deal, real estate, fast return. She jumped at it, desperate. I let her bite down just enough to show her accounts. That was all my lawyer needed. Within weeks, creditors were circling, her accounts frozen tight. She thought it was just bad luck. She didn't know I was behind the curtain, pulling the strings. Next was my mother. I tipped off the tax office, anonymous, attaching the evidence she had signed herself. They opened an investigation, flagged her hidden rental income. She got the letter on a Wednesday. By Friday, I had a tearful voicemail waiting for me. I didn't answer. 1 week after the cops came to take my daughter, I invited both of them over for dinner. A family meal. My daughter was upstairs asleep. The table was set perfectly, but the air was thick. I let them complain. My sister moaned about money. My mother ranted about her streak of bad luck. I nodded, listened, then slid 2 files across the table. Everything, her debts, her fraud, their secrets, spilled out under the kitchen light, their faces drained white. "You called the police on a 5-year-old, I said, my voice steady, low. "You tried to break her, to break me. Did you really think there wouldn't be a price?" My sister stuttered. We were just trying to what?" I cut her off. "Save her? From me? Or from the fact that I became everything you couldn't?" My mother's lip shook. She reached for my hand, but I pulled back. "You wanted her gone. Now it's you who will lose everything." The silence pressed down heavy, choking. Then came the noise. My sister first, shrieking with anger and panic. My mother next, pleading, cursing, crying. I leaned back in my chair and let them fall apart. I didn't feel joy. I felt justice. They left that night broken. their voices echoing down the hall like bitter ghosts clawing at the walls. The fallout came fast. Within a month, my sister lost her apartment. My mother had to sell her house to pay off penalties. They never called the cops again. They never even called me. My daughter never knew the details, never knew the weight of what happened behind the scenes. All she understood was that the strange men never came back, and her father never let her go. I don't carry guilt. I carry clarity. They wanted to teach me fear. Instead, I showed them what happens when you betray your own blood. Family is everything, yes, but betrayal is too.